Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first installment of the Conspiracy Cowboy Podcast. Exactly what this is, I don't have completely defined. But what I will do is have valuable conversations with interesting people. We'll talk about interesting topics with some of my close friends as well. Some of you know my guest for today, Alain Tellez. If you don't know, host of the Alain Tell'Em Podcast.
What's up, guys?
Just a small, brief intro of yourself, sir.
Bro, I'm your boy first. Podcaster second. Damn. And yeah, bro, I'm ready to fucking do this shit. I'm ready to get into it.
All right, so we're getting into today a couple of topics. It's Men's Mental Health Month. We're gonna get into mental health, men's mental health specifically, how we deal with it. We're gonna get into what fulfills you and makes you happy, and we're gonna close things out with what do you prefer, loyalty or love. Some nice, intricate conversations up ahead. All right, so men's mental health. I want to get into just a little bit about. Tell me, do you have any mental health struggles? Like, what are they, and like, what do you do to deal with them, whatever they are?
Yeah. So, I think everyone to a certain point, has maybe not mental health struggles, but they have to deal with themselves at the end of the day, right? You have conversations with yourself. I think that's what I view mental health as in a way. It's kind of like conversation, like how you talk to yourself, in a way. So, I think everybody does. How I deal with it is making sure, so I have different ways, right? So it's either on focusing on the physical, because I feel like those two line up. Like when your physical is good, you're in a good headspace. I think literally it sounds so cliche, bro, but it's like taking care of yourself, I think translates to how you deal with mental health. So eating right, you feel your body good, you feel good about yourself. Exercise, same thing. And I feel like they go hand in hand. So I mean, that's at least how I deal with it. If I don't do that, I usually just talk my problems away. I have a podcast, so it's pretty much
it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I have a podcast, so it's like I pretty much talk it out.
You make an outline topic, and the next thing you know, you're just venting, and people are like, "Oh, look, he's getting real deep into it." Nah, guys,
this is all premeditated.
Hey, it was in here.
But I talked to friends, you, Mandy, my girl, and usually talking to somebody helps you feel better too. And it's not like you're alone. Everyone deals with things.
So one of the things I wanted to touch on was specifically the stigma behind mental health, especially with men, how we're supposed to be like tough, thick-skinned, and we're not supposed to go to therapy because that's for soft people. Like, can you kind of touch on that? Like, how do you feel about that stigma? Maybe, did you ever agree with that stigma, or have you grown to not agree with it?
I don't think it was ever the thing is that at least growing up, it was never even talked about, right?
Not in our households.
So I can't even say I grew up not believing in it because I just didn't even think about it, right? Like, it didn't cross my head because it was always I don't know. Like, you just, at least me, I lived with just I didn't really have to deal with mental health until further down, until I at least graduated high school and started dealing with shit, right? Dealing with stressors and all that stuff. Because before, I feel like when you're so young, you're just worried about stupid shit. You're worried about oh, what am I gonna do after school today? You're not worried about some crazy shit. You have no real stressors maybe, unless something happened before. But I think there is definitely a stigma. I think it's starting to be more cracked open, and people are talking about it more. And then what else would you did you ask? Sorry.
No, it's basically if you've ever believed in that stigma or grown apart from it, but you answered that by saying you'd like in our households we don't know about mental health. Bro, I remember going through anxiety, things like this, and never understanding. I just thought that I was different than everybody. So it's I understand what you're saying when it wasn't mentioned in our households until later on. Somebody told me there's this thing that happens when you're sad and stuff. It's called being depressed, and I'm like, what? You could be depressed? I've never heard of these terms and all this terminology. Especially,
I thought I was just sad.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I thought humans feel like this. I thought it was like
Yeah.
an okay thing for me to feel like this, and it's like, no. You know, let's talk you through this. I think that's like super important is the miseducation and like how kids, especially, I feel bad for now kids with social media. I
Yeah.
feel like adds a total new level of stress.
Definitely, bro. Like that before, I feel like when you're young, like before you had a phone, like you didn't care about half the shit you care about now. Like
No.
and because we're part of that generation that they first got smartphones, right? So I feel like that's like, yeah, social media is like a big thing, and like everyone telling you how you're supposed to act as a man.
Everybody thinking they know what a man is.
Exactly, and it's like, what do you think a man is?
That's a good question. Alain Tellez, define to
I
me
asked you
what.
first.
all right. You know what? Look, I think a man is a person who a man is a provider, a gatherer, somebody who provides for the family, the head honcho. He doesn't have to make the most money, but he's just a person who's, I would say, the strongest, right? The head of the family. He doesn't carry with compassion, things like that. Like he should be compassionate, but that's more like the mother's job or the woman's job in a family. But I feel like a man has principles, has morals. He stands by them. He stands by his word. And first and foremost, I think a man takes care of his family and the people around him, and makes sure that he contributes to society. Like I think men, for a majority, we work and we do like the toughest of toughest jobs, and like physical hard labor. That's just a natural thing in men. I feel like we're just keen and lean into that. And like I just think men provide, like they work their ass off. Like a real man works and provides.
Well, that's even been like from the beginning of time, right? When you think about like, and I know obviously nowadays it's women make a lot more money also, so it's not all the time it's like the man makes the most, but I feel like, and this could be even just like how we were brought up, bro. Like, and that's just like, obviously, like I'm gonna tell you now, I can flip flop, like I can believe something one day and then learn something new and be like, oh, I changed my mind.
Yeah, it's like
and that's just what it is. But I agree with you though. Like I think at least in my head, like a man is someone who provides for his family. Not just monetarily, sometimes even emotionally for his family. Like he stays strong when his family needs it. I think that's like a major characteristic of a man, and does what he has to do, to keep the family good.
And that's exactly why, and it helps me translate to our next topic now that you mentioned that, is why men should go to therapy. Because I feel like men carry this huge burden in life. And one of the things I know that I carry as a burden was going to college and not coming back with a degree, feeling like, oh, shoot, I'm not making this money, and being able to flip the script where I'm providing. Like I always thought that when I graduated from college and got a job, I told myself I'm going to be this big time whatever, and I'm going to provide for my mom. And when that didn't become a reality, I was like, oh, shit. I'm still like being provided by my mom, and bless you.
Yeah.
And I'm still being provided.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no
Men's
problem.
mental health.
Men's mental health month. Thank you, bro. We gotta be there.
Hey.
Pick you up when you're down.
Exactly.
Say bless you when you cough. I got you.
Exactly.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, like how you felt when you thought that you felt maybe less of a man because you couldn't provide. When you came back.
When I came back from like Miami, because I couldn't really provide, and like I just spent like a whole month without a job. But that's ever since I got that first paycheck, bro. I've always been a worker.
Yeah.
But I feel like even now that I'm making money,
like you need to be working to feel like
I have to be working to feel good, and I feel like that's something important for people that need to find, especially men, because like we get stuck in this thing. The amount of men I talk to and like their problems are like financial or like just like, I don't want to say little shit, but shit that you could easily change, but they don't change. And I realize it's like, guys don't talk about anything. They just suffer.
Yeah,
they bottle it all up.
You're expected to hold it in.
Yeah, you're expected to hold it in. And like, there's just this thing where I talk to people, man, and even I get sad because I look at some people and I'm like, bro, like I was in your position, obviously like a year ago. Yeah. I was in some shit and I'm like, damn. It made me really want to get on a podcast, and especially with you, somebody that I'm another man I'm close with, is like just to talk about men's mental health and kind of shed some light into that and seeking help, because I feel like it's always important, not just in whenever it's mental health month, men's mental health month, every month is for people to like understand just how important when the brain works, how everything else just kind of flows. and gets into sync.
Right. No, I agree, bro. I think it's like not. I don't know if it's that men have such a burden. 'Cause I feel like everyone has their own internal struggles, but I feel like with men, it's like you're looked at as soft for asking for help. Yes. You get me? Like it's like there at least before I feel it trending in the right direction where like there's ways to get help, but it's like like the last thing that you want to hear when you're trying to get help is someone calling you soft for it, because and then maybe in your head you're like, damn, like am I being soft for this? Like am I not a man? Am I like it makes you question yourself.
Yeah.
For like
it makes you pack up a little bit more, put a little bit more in that bag that heavy bag you're carrying with all that weight and all that burden, and just put a little bit more in there and keep it pushing until you stack more and more. Yeah. So you literally can't, and the bag breaks and everything's all fucked up. I think that's like a big problem that people have is, I'm not saying that women don't struggle, but like men are more likely to commit suicide nowadays. Simply a lot of it has to do with just their financial struggles. Things don't work out in their marriage. And
we're not sorry to interrupt, but no. I feel like we're not taught how to deal with it either.
Yes.
Because it's like, you could be going through that, but you're not taught how to deal with it. And I think that's what makes you go over the edge.
Hey, yo, when I got through my first breakup, I got like 50 calls from my mom. Yo, my dad called me once, was like, hey, listen, keep your head up. It's all going to be okay.
Un clavo saca lo otro.
Oye, Bibo, ¿tú sabes cuánta mujer allá? Bro, dad. But that was the one. Like, what are you talking about? You know? So
no, and especially your first breakup. That's the last thing you want to hear.
It's the first, the last
breakup. Like, how's the one?
Like, bro, what do you mean? This is the girl I'm supposed to marry. What are you telling me? Like, nah, man. Look, there's so much more to life. But it was like, I don't know. At that moment, I even realized too. I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, like, I can never. Whenever I have a problem, I better call my mom and my stepdad. Only because my stepdad was a person like me who leans more towards his like mother. So he was more the compassionate side. So it's like, yo, we need to learn to be more open and more expressive with our feelings. Like, I feel like you and me do a good job of telling each other how we feel and, like, how shit's going. And we check in on each other periodically. Just make sure we're good. But, like, yo, so many people I talk to, like, on a daily basis. I'll be, like, at work. I'll be, like, anywhere. I'll go to the park. You just hear motherfuckers start complaining randomly. Yeah. Misses a shot. Fuck, I hate my life. I wish my girl never cheated on me. What?
It's like, bro, you missed a basketball shot. Like, hey, my boy. Is everything good at home, bro? Like,
hey, we shooting for captains, my guy.
Yeah, we haven't started the game yet.
Did you say first in everything or what?
No. But, no, kind of back on the topic of therapy, though. Like, I feel like it's one of the things that I hate when people say is like something needs to be wrong for you to go to therapy. Because I feel like it's like there's so much maintenance work that you have to do on yourself so that you don't go over that, like, so you don't get to that point. It's like there's a saying, I'm kind of blanking on it now, but it's like it costs more to repair than it does to maintain. So it's like, think about a car. Once it's broken, it costs more than it did for, just to maintain it and make sure it was in good condition.
Think about your gas. How fast is it till you waste as much gas as you did on your car itself? Like, in a couple of years, you rack that up. I mean, for me, I got a cheap Corolla, so it was pretty quick. But it's like, things like that is like, yeah, you're right. It's a lot harder to repair something once it's already broken, but it takes longer. But I feel like you can always repair it. It's never too late to repair it, though.
No. I feel like nowadays it's easier. Like, there's so many like resources that you can go to now. Like, there's even apps that you can talk to a licensed therapist, and they can help you out day to day. Because like, there's only so much I feel like your boys or your family can do for you. Like, at a certain point, you might need like a professional to be like, look, like, and sometimes they might even be like calling you on your shit, and that might be what you need to hear. So it's like, it takes someone who's not biased to kind of like bring that out.
Yeah, I used to think like a lot wasn't like, I used to think like, oh, there's minimal things that I do wrong, or until I went to therapy and like they started to break down. And one of the things too, I went to therapy that helped was seeing the transition going from like completely like, oh, well, I wouldn't say the worst, but pretty bad to now doing pretty good. Just seeing like how therapy, it's consistent. They never change their mood with you. It's almost like when you get the right therapist too.
Yeah.
They're happy for you.
It matters.
They're happy for you. They're happy that like, oh, you're feeling better. Like, oh, they're actually interested, not just like, You're doing good?
All right, cool.
Like, let's go. Like, I can finally get you off my case. And just people talking,
Yeah.
just talking to somebody and just getting your shit out. And a thing too, like you said, you don't always have to be broken. Like, something doesn't have to be wrong. Like, you can just go there for maintenance. That could be like your oil change, like your weekly, I don't know, maybe you do something weekly.
Think about it. You do an oil change. You don't just have your car break down.
Yeah. And that they do like a good job of, I feel like if you went to therapy weekly, you're decompressing weekly. Yeah. And that's somebody that's not going to tell anybody. You don't have to worry about it going out to anybody else. No rumors, no nothing.
They're not telling any of your family, and they're not telling any of your, like, they literally are unbiased. They work for you.
Yeah, they work for you, and they're solely for you. And, like, they'll come up with plans and everything. And I've seen it happen. They have worksheets and shit. So it's, like, therapy is very important. And, like, I guess that's going to move. We've talked about helping each other and stuff. Happiness. Like, what fulfills you? And I think we talked about this in your AMA, but this is different. Yeah, different setting.
Check that one out if you want to, but this
is
AMA, finish this one first. Finish this
AMA
one first.
on Alain Tell'Em, but finish
this one first.
Or come back after, please.
Just finish it. Later.
But yeah. So, like, what makes you happy? What fulfills you?
Bro, it's multiple things. It's not just one. It could be quality time with people I love.
Let me rephrase that then. When you're down, right? When you're down, what brings you up? What gives you that happiness that gets the dopamine going?
Again, it's a bunch of things, bro. It's like, at least what works for me, right?
But might work for others, which is always important to remember.
So, I don't know if I mentioned it on mine either. I've told you about it. Mm-hmm. But one thing that me and my girlfriend do is we go on these nightly walks at the end of the day, right? So, and this is literally like our time to just like decompress. Mm-hmm. And it's a perfect way to end the night too, because it's like you feel so light after. Like, you're like, not only were we walk like 2 miles, but like you talk away all your problems. You think about like what you're gonna try to accomplish for the next day, the next week, whatever. You talk about your goals. You talk about your stressors, like everything, right? So having someone else to listen is like, it makes me happy at that moment. Also, man, like, I mean, you were there last weekend, just playing basketball with boys. Mm-hmm. Just something as simple as that, like having your little guy time and stuff, and like it could literally be playing basketball, like going out with your boys, just like one night, just like, or man, another one for me is creating, bro. I've touched on, but it's like keeping my mind busy, and like not in a bad way of like I'm neglecting something, but in a way of like I'm doing what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what makes me happy. Yeah, it's like you keep the consistency going, and you're always feeding, it's like you're feeding the brain always happy stuff, which is good. And yeah, man, I guess I'll go with some of mine. One of the things that makes me happy, of course, always is watching or playing basketball. It's my obsession. It's what I want to do when I grow up, is just cover the game. But one of the things is guy time. Spending quality time with the people I love, because I think something that makes really good your walks is not just it's like your girlfriend, it's somebody that cares about you and somebody that genuinely loves you and wants the best for you. So when they're giving you advice, it's not from a place of, I don't know, like some random person at work you're just venting, you're venting to. It's like your girlfriend. She might give you the best advice possible. Yeah, she'll call me out on shit too. And she'll call you out on your bullshit because she doesn't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, again, genuinely loves you. Because there's people that love you, and we'll get into loyalty and love later. But there's people that love you. Yeah, there's people that love you, but they don't want the best for you. Because, But most importantly is finding things that you love to do. And creating has just been something that you and me, like, since a young kid. How many things have, like, you and me sat down in a WhatsApp group chat or some shit and thought about and created, and like maybe it never came to fruition, which happened most of the time, but how much shit did we not create? Bro, logos. Bro, I don't know. We could have been like a really good like rapper producer combo at a certain time. Like, we used to. I'm pretty sure I gave my laptop a virus just downloading that software. But like, we used to make beats, and then George would rap on them. Like, I was like, we used to just like make shit, bro. Like, and like, I don't know. Listen, those are good times. That was an attempt.
That was a very, very that was a very long time ago. I'm not a rapper. I can't rap. So please, when you see me, don't be like, hey, Jorge, spit a 16. That shit ain't happening. Yeah. But yeah, man, creating is a beautiful thing. The process of we talked about this like ad nauseum is you get the idea, you start to work on the idea, the outline, the actual process of creating and editing, and then you get that final product. And it's just a thing of joy. The process. It's the journey, not the destination. It's not the final cut video. Yeah. It's everything I had to do to get to the final cut video. It's picking me up. It's us getting here. It's then getting home and getting to work. So it's like finding things that make you happy. And again, that it all depends on the person. But that'll move us to the last topic because I know we got to wrap this up. Loyalty or love, and why? Now I'm gonna go first. And loyalty first and foremost, without a doubt. Love is a thing that gives a lot. When somebody loves you, they may love you, and they may feel this tremendous happiness when they see you and have these tremendous feelings about you. But that doesn't mean they won't fuck you over. That doesn't mean they won't cross you. That doesn't mean they won't, I don't know, like, just be two-faced. Just change on you, do you dirty, any type of thing like that. And that doesn't mean they won't walk out on your life. And I think loyalty, when somebody is loyal to you and they're about you and it's like, yo, like, for example, like, I'm always loyal about my friends. Like, anything pops up anywhere with you and me, like, yo, I got your back with anything or anything that happens to you in your life. I'm there for you. I got you. Anything you need, always you can ask me. So it's like that type of thing of loyalty to me has more value because it's me showing you that, yo, no matter what, I'm here. But love, like, I could tell you I love you and then turn around and talk shit about you to a bunch of people. I still love you, but there's just some things I don't like about you. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of like I see loyalty as more valuable than love because I love basketball. But if my mom asks me to go do some shit, I'm more loyal to my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I look at it.
No, that's a good point. I'm going to counter to that, though.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I'm picking the other one, but I like the points you brought up. I'll say love because I feel like someone can be loyal to you but not love you.
True.
And then at that point, it's like you feel like they're just doing it because they have to. And then it's like, do I really want that? It's like I want someone who's gonna love, right? So I'll choose love over that because I don't know. I feel like they're doing it because they want to, if they truly love, right? Because you can say like the example you gave, I forgot which one it was now, but if they go and are two-faced to you, do they really love you?
True. Because
it's like if you really love somebody, you wouldn't do that. And then it's like love has loyalty kind of baked into it. But I feel like
there's a little counter to that because there's people that cheat on people, but because they're polyamorous. I know, but where were we? Oh yeah. So my counter is that your girl or partner can love you. They can cheat on you. They can still love you though. But if somebody's loyal to you, I don't care if you don't love me at the end of the day. As long as you like me and you're loyal to me and you don't ever do me wrong, that's to me more important than anything. Because at the end of the day, that's what like I got people I love that I had to cut off because they weren't good for me. But I got people like you and Thomas that are loyal to me, like beyond measures, no matter what happens, that always show up. So that's why I say, I would choose like loyalty over love. Although you do bring a good point. Somebody's loyal to you and they don't love you. What does it really mean? But
yeah. And if they really love you, they would be loyal to you.
But the thing is,
I think I see your point. Though.
It happens.
It's like happens, they're intertwined. They're intertwined.
Like, yo, like I'm so sure, like I'm dead ass sure my dad loves me. But the shit he does it on purpose. And it's like, yo, but he loves me though. But the shit he does is because there's no loyalty towards me. So it's like that's why I look at it like loyalty. Like my little sister, she loves me. She's 12. She don't know what the fuck love is, but she's absolutely loyal to me. The day I said I was gonna call, she said, "Where are we going?" Swear to you, she was like 8 years old. She's like, "Yo, where are we going?" And that's just why I would say that. But to wrap up the episode,
like let us know what y'all think though.
Yeah,
because man, you brought up some good points.
To wrap up the episode, I'm shooting my shot at Ethan Skolnick, 5 Reasons Sports. My name is Jorge Larrea Jr., born and raised in Miami, Florida. I'm a Miami Heat diehard fan, and it'd be an absolute honor to get a shot to work for 5 Reasons Sports Network. Now, of course, I know a little bit about the UFC. Well, actually, I know a pretty good amount about the UFC, but I'm really big on the Miami Heat, and I've always it's always been my dream to cover the Miami Heat, and it'd be an absolute honor to work next to Ethan Skolnick and 5 Reasons Sports. So I DM'd y'all. No problem, no answer, but I'm shooting my shot just, to express my absolute desire for this opportunity and to get a shot to prove myself and, take on the challenge and the opportunity ahead to contribute for 5 Reasons Sports and cover the best team in NBA basketball. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our episode. That's all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.